Hey there, hope you're doing good. We all know software development is expensive, but how expensive? Let's try to quantify that. There are two ways of quantifying it. One is how much does a minimum viable engineering team cost? What's a minimum viable engineering team? It's a team with enough skills and size to do its job. It's not missing critical skills like UX design or front end or back end, mobile, any of these, right? I have a strategic hiring planner. You need prototyping, front end, mobile, back end, DevOps, sales engineering if it is appropriate, support engineering, and research in many companies. And you also need to have multiple people with each skill because when, not if, one person leaves, you don't want your company stopped in its tracks. A different way of looking at it is based on outcomes. Do you want features? Do you want UX? Do you want it to be fast or slow? Do you want it to be reliable or keep having crashes, outages, etc.? Do you want it to keep pace with your business as it grows? Do you want it to be secure? Some time needs to be spent towards maintenance and DevOps. Maybe you need an API, maybe sales engineering, building proof of concepts for potential customers and having conversations and answering their questions, looking into the code as needed. All this takes effort. Documentation, hiring. So when you add up all of these, a minimum viable engineering team costs $1 million a year in India. Now you can quibble with the exact number. Maybe it's not a million, maybe it's 3 crore rupees, but whatever it is, a single crore won't do. And this is just engineering salaries. We're not talking about laptops, cloud costs, office costs, salaries of people outside engineering like UX, product, sales, marketing, none of that, right? So this is a minimum viable engineering team, costs $1 million a year. This is one way of quantifying how expensive an engineering team is. Basically, just as you have a minimum viable product, which is a minimum set of features below which people won't want to use your app because it doesn't do enough. A minimum viable engineering team is the smallest team where if you reduce it further, it will take much longer to build software, or it will be defective, or unintuitive to use, or lack features, or any of these things. So the minimum viable engineering team cost of close to $1 million is one way of quantifying how expensive engineering is. The other way of quantifying it is what is the cost per ticket. So you have tickets or tasks in Jira or whichever tool you use, Trello, whichever, right? GitHub projects. Can we come up with some way to quantify how much each ticket costs you as the founder? So let's assume, I'll make the font bigger so it's more readable. This is probably too big, but we'll go with it. Let's assume each ticket takes 3 days. How many days do you have in a month? 365 by 12. How many working days do you have per month? Just multiply this into 5 by 7. You have 21 days. 21 working days, 21, 22. And then people fall sick, say one day every month. And then there's a public holiday, which is again, let's assume a day a month. And then people go on vacation. Again, let's assume that's one day a month, right? Now, how many days are available? Minus these three, which is 19 days available. Assume a monthly salary of, we'll use Indian rupees, 1.9 lakhs. It will probably be higher than this because you don't have only junior people in your team, plus you have benefits, be it insurance or whatever, right? A laptop, office space, or all of the fully loaded cost of an employee is higher. Fully loaded salary. We'll assume it's 30% higher. Now, this is the salary you're paying, right? Before we get here, let's also calculate if 19 days are available and each ticket takes 3 days, tickets per engineer per month. B1 is not a rupee. Each engineer can execute 6 tickets in a month. Now, if you divide the amount you're paying with the number of tickets that each engineer is working on, each ticket costs 40,000 rupees. Now, if you disagree with some of these assumptions, feel free to modify them as you see fit. Maybe a ticket takes 2 days. You can modify it however you want, and the spreadsheet will recalculate. So don't reject this because you disagree with some of the specifics. You can always modify them. But the point is, software development is expensive. It's frightfully expensive. Every time you file a ticket in Jira, this is what you're paying. You don't see it because it gets hidden. You know a big amount of money going to payroll every month, but beyond that, you don't know how the money is being split. So people often ask for engineers to do work without prioritizing. If each ticket is very costly, you should prioritize. Don't file third priority tickets in Jira or second priority. Work on the most important things. Maybe second priority, but not third. Make very careful use of your engineer's time. Make sure each ticket is well specified. For example, engineers shouldn't code something up and then be told, hey, that was not what was needed. Right? So software development being expensive has to be optimized. And if you'd like me to optimize your team, my consulting link is in the description. Thank you.